Welcome back, guys. As you can see from the title, today's video will be discussing uni and going through trauma whilst at uni. My second year of uni, I experienced a loss, and physically, mentally, emotionally, that took its toll. And although uni is a great place for independence, finding yourself, just really moving up in the world, it can also be a really scary place, and this is elevated when you go through a loss or you are experiencing something traumatic. And I do want to explain a bit about that today. Just a little bit, explain my story sort of, and give a slight insight into grieving whilst at uni. Second year of uni, I just started my pre-season football. I just had a great summer, so I'd come back after a really nice summer. I went away with my family. I did camp in America, so I was a counsellor there, and I just came back and I had pre-season football, so I was very much enjoying that, enjoying uni life. I was really motivated and willing to get started my second year, really. And I was there, I just moved into a new house, gaining somewhat more independence, and this was all great. Life was very much in my hands. I was enjoying life, I was just very happy. I was in a very good place. And of course, my mum then got admitted into hospital. And now, at the time, this is around, I could have given a better date, this is around like late September, early October, she got admitted into hospital. And this wasn't anything unfamiliar, because your mum had cancer for a long time, and she was always having IV drips, or she was going for a blood transfusion, so hospital visits weren't unfamiliar. They were, they were her best friend. And we knew that all too well. So at the time when she got admitted into hospital, this wasn't like a cause for concern for me. I didn't think too much of it until my dad sat me down and he said, "Joe, it's not great. Your mum's not got that long left to live." And now, when you hear something like that, that can mean a range of things. Not got that long. Does that 5 years, 2 years? I mean, I guess it timestamps it. Does that, what does that essentially mean? We were, at the time, he was saying maybe a year, maybe to Christmas. So I was like, okay, that's not great, but also it's very weird when someone gives you a date and also a time, because your mind doesn't really process it. So initially, when I heard that, I headed back to uni, and I kind of just, well, I don't want to say forgot about it, but I guess I went back to uni. The drive back from London to Nottingham was was a weird drive, I'll say that. It was, all sorts was going on up here. That's just something I would add. If you have been given very difficult news or traumatic news, probably best to avoid a 2-hour drive. Just for future reference, that's definitely something I'm gonna. But yeah, so the reason I'm telling you all this is because straight away my coping mechanism was to head back to uni. Maybe because it was too difficult at home, so I kind of wanted to push that all aside and head back to uni so I could, I guess, like I said, put it to the side almost. And so she got put into hospital early October, gradually, well, I say gradually, rather rapidly she decreased in her health, and eventually she succumbed in hospital October the 23rd. So, I was coming back and forth from uni while she was in hospital. I did discuss it with her, and she knew uni was a very important place for me, for my self-development. But yeah, once the funeral happened and we had a shiver and all of that, I decided the best thing for me to do was to go back to uni. And at the time, I hadn't let anything settle. I hadn't really at all come to terms with my loss. And already my mentality was to transition to uni, almost escaping what I'm facing, sort of thing. Which, again, for some people that might work. And, I did, I guess, in some way, some kind of way it did work. But also, escaping your reality is not an effective method to grieve, and something I learned. Going through something traumatic whilst you're in a different setting, and it's not that uni isn't a safe setting, because it is. I made friends, I made good friends, I had a good friendship group, I had, loads of people around me who could look after me. It's just the idea that once you're in your room, the lights off, you have so much free time, and when you have free time, your thoughts swirl around, and that's something I had. I had a lot of free time on uni, and I wasn't going out, and when I was going out, the alcohol, which obviously is a depressant, was a big cause for concern. It was causing my thoughts to spiral. I was crying on nights out. And uncontrollably so, but it was like I had no control about it. It was almost all the thoughts that I was thinking about, but repressing in the back of my mind, was almost surfacing when I was drinking, which I guess it lowers your inhibitions. But at the same time, I was, after I would drink, I'd be in a 3-4 day heavy depression. And when I say depression, I'd be in my room, lights off, shutters down, everything, just watching Netflix, in this toxic mental, which again, it makes sense going through grief, but it was very hard. I was in this cave, and I couldn't feel happy, and there was no happiness almost. And the moments, and the weird thing was, right, when I felt happy, I would start feeling guilty because I wasn't thinking about mum. So I could be playing football, or I could be out in the pub or whatever, and I'd be happy, having a good time. And then suddenly, I get this rush of emotions. I'm not thinking about mum anymore. And then I start feeling guilty. And this guilt starts leading to anxiety, and the anxiety causes more pain, and when this pain comes, I'm beating myself up because I'm feeling like this, and I could have ignored it. So as you can see, it's like a cycle almost. It's like the overthinking, just not allowing yourself to be. And I think this was elevated whilst being at uni, because I was like, well, I'm here at uni, I need to have fun, I need to have a good time. What was the point being at uni in my room? But because I wasn't having fun, or if I was having fun, I was then having contrasting views. So yeah, uni was very difficult. When I was playing football, had a few games for the uni, and football is something I usually love doing. It's my pride and joy. It's something I've learned is the key to my anxiety. It's something that benefits me. Playing sport is something that alleviates all this pain up here. But then I started playing football, and nothing. I felt empty. I wasn't enjoying it. There was no love for the game. There was no love for anything other than just this pain, this emptiness. And the reason I'm saying all this today is because I want to sort of showcase how people go through a lot at uni. And uni is a very difficult place. And I think the most important thing is that you look after yourself. You're going from always being looked after by your parents, or I don't know, everyone's parental situation, but you more likely than not, pre-uni, you're nurtured, you're looked after, and then once you make the step to uni, you're on your own. It's a level of independence, and I think it can be a big adjustment. And I was loving it, but I'm saying you do need to look after yourself, and going to uni whilst going through a loss was a very, very difficult time for me. Lectures had no meaning. I couldn't work. My brain was a block. It was literally a block. There was no, my neurons, they weren't firing. I couldn't work. I couldn't taking any information. You know, my friends would ask, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'd be, I don't know why I couldn't open up and just say, "You know what, mate, I'm not." I couldn't, and I don't know if that's to do with the male culture of not being able to discuss emotions, which is obviously not great. But I can see in terms of male openness, it's definitely getting better. But still, at the time, I had the mentality that I shouldn't talk about it, which again is, for my personal grief, wasn't great. And eventually, after having a discussion with my family and having a discussion with my friends, I wasn't working. I wasn't really enjoying myself. And when I was enjoying myself, I felt guilty for it. I was coming home quite frequently, and then I decided the best thing for me to do was to defer the year. So obviously, around December, so the end of the first term, I decided, okay, the best thing for me to do is go home. And it gave me some time to think, gave me time to be around my family, and yes. But obviously now I'm heading back to uni, so it's definitely, this has been playing on my mind quite recently, and something I did want to address in a video. I just think one thing I would say is always check up on your friends. Always make sure that their well-being is okay. Always care for their needs. And sometimes it is hard to empathise and care for others when you need to be caring for yourself, and that's important as well. But I would say, if you see a friend who isn't going out as much, or who, may be going through a hard time, just ask about it, and that might make their life a bit easier. Yeah. So I guess this was kind of a different sort of video today. I guess it's good. It's good to be honest, and it's good to discuss these kind of things. And I hope people really do gain some knowledge, or some kind of, just some idea of, well, maybe they can find similarities between what I experience and what they're experiencing, and yeah, and so yeah, again, thank you for watching. It's not like a fun video where we're just like dancing, but I guess it's needed, and yeah, so thank you for watching, and see you soon.